How can you get the best results from a breathwork session? I have been teaching and sharing breathwork for over 25 years now and have observed so many people breathing and also have experienced myself utilizing breathwork countless numbers of times. So one of the things that I feel super passionately about is how to leverage the power of breathwork to create tangible change, tangible results, those things that you struggle with, those patterns you keep coming up against, you struggle with like indecision or self-doubt or negative thought spirals, or maybe the same fight with your partner all the time, or maybe never being able to get your business idea off the ground because you keep second guessing yourself or pushing it off. These patterns that you stay stuck in, right? How can we use breath work to create a tangible shift where those patterns become a thing of the past and you're able to move forward and experience your life in a different way? This is something that I have always been super interested in and have made it my business to find the answer. So today I want to talk about how you can use breath work to get a powerful result. And before I get into that, I just want to lay the foundation of what is actually happening during a breathwork session. And this is what I've come up with after years of watching people breathe countless numbers of times. There is a few things happening, right? So one, when you use breath work. So when I say breath work, the type of breath work I teach is called conscious connected breathing. There are a lot of different types of breath work, but I'm talking about when we use the breath to create change, when we consciously breathe to create a result, when we get in our bodies and face or confront what is there. When you're using the breath, what happens is, first of all, you are forcing yourself into the present moment. And what that means is you can't take a breath in the past and you can't take a breath in the future, right? So you have to be present. And the power in that is that you are accessing your intuition, your higher self, your creativity, your inspiration, because all of that lives in the present moment. And you are being present with what is currently happening in your body and what's currently happening in your mind. So a lot of times we live our lives trying to avoid what is currently happening in our bodies and in our minds, because a lot of times we might be feeling discomfort in our bodies, we might be feeling anxiety, we might be feeling chronic pain or discomfort that we don't want to feel. And in our minds, we might be having unwanted negative thoughts, worries, intrusive thoughts. So we're trying to avoid that as well. So we might be distracting ourselves by, going on social media or talking to other people or whatever it is. A lot of times we try to avoid what is happening presently in the body and in the mind. And when you use a tool like the breath, you are really forcing yourself to be present with what is there. And while that might be uncomfortable at first, what ends up happening is that you learn a lot about yourself, you connect with yourself, and you create a different relationship with yourself because you are willing to be present with what's there. And then you're able to move the energy, you're able to process the suppressed or unprocessed emotions, and you feel a huge sense of relief. And then also what can happen is that you can get a lot of creative inspiration or guidance from your higher self or your intuition as to where to go next or what action to take. And you feel a level of confidence around that because it's coming from this clear, inspired place instead of overthinking and then doubting yourself or feeling indecisive about something. So that's the first part. The second piece is that when you use the breath, you access the subconscious mind, and breath work is the fastest, most efficient way to access the subconscious mind. And the reason why that's important is because a lot of the beliefs from the past that are in your subconscious mind are the things that are driving the results you're seeing in your life today. And you'll hear a lot of people say, your thoughts create your reality or whatever, which is partly true, but really it's your subconscious beliefs based on wounding or unmet needs from childhood, or based on what you witnessed your parents do or what they modeled to you. You created and internalized beliefs when you were a very young child that are living in the subconscious, and that's what's driving the results that you're seeing. So you can do a ton of affirmations, or you can try to think differently, but until you access what's in the subconscious and shift it, you're still going to pretty much see the same results in your life. So when you use breath work, you access the subconscious, and those internalized beliefs that you weren't aware of will start to come to the surface so that you are aware of them. Maybe you'll have a memory of a conversation between your parents about money, and you realize that you've internalized this belief about money that's the driving force on what your experience of money is now. And those things will come into your awareness so that you can actively work with them and shift them. Or you might have a memory around something that happened in childhood that you forgot about that created the belief that I'm not good enough, or I'm not worthy, or I'm not deserving. And you'll be able to see how that belief is showing up in your life now, and how it's the driving force in the way that you perceive reality and what you think is available to you, or what you think you have the capacity for, and realize that you might be holding yourself back from certain things that you truly desire because you have this underlying assumption that you don't deserve it, or you're not worthy, or you're not good enough. So these are the types of things that we can access when we use a tool like the breath. And then what I've also noticed over the last 25 years is that there is this really powerful moment during a breathwork session where the conscious mind and the subconscious mind converge. They come together, and you're able to see the way that this unconscious belief from childhood is impacting you in your life now. Where this core wound is what I call it, this seed, has tentacles in all of the places in your life now where you might feel stuck or slowed down or challenged. And then you're able to release that emotional energy of the core wound through the breath. And you're able to bring awareness to it so that you can start to choose to show up differently in all areas of your life. And this is what the breath has the power to do if you know how to use it. And that's where I come in, because when you learn how to use the breath in this way, you can use it to create a really powerful result quickly. And you can use it to be able to show up as your most powerful and confident self across all areas of your life, especially the places that you feel are the most challenging. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write down, what is the result that you would like to create the most? What is that one thing, that one challenge, that one problem that you have that has been really hard for you to overcome no matter what you've done? Write that down. What is the biggest result that I want to have? And then I want you to use the breathwork session that I have in my breathwork playlist around breathwork to heal core wounds. And then I want you to do the breathwork, and then start to journal afterwards about what happened during the breathwork session and anything that you can remember from childhood that has the same feeling as the feeling you're feeling in this challenging situation now. And it might not be an exact parallel, or it might not be like the literal same thing, but the feeling you have is the same. Because what happens is when something happens in early childhood where it's very impactful for you, or you didn't get your needs met, or you internalized a negative belief about yourself, it's really just a feeling. And you continue to recreate that feeling on a subconscious level in order to reconcile it. But if you don't realize that's what you're doing, you're just going to keep spinning your wheels and saying, oh, I can't change this, or I keep creating the same thing over and over again. But really, you're just creating opportunities to reconcile this feeling. So if you can use the breath work and then journal to draw that parallel, you're going to start to understand what that core wound is, where it started, and how you can start to choose differently in these situations now. So that is my assignment for you. I want you to write down the result that you want, use the breath work that's in the playlist, Breathwork to Heal Core Wounds, and then journal afterwards. And do that about 3 times over the next week and see what comes up. And then you're going to start to get a lot of really good information as to what is actually stopping you in your life now, and then what you can do to shift it. And I'm going to be doing some more videos around my inner child healing process and kind of the next steps after this. But this is the starting point on how to use breathwork to create a powerful result. Because in order to create real change, we need to address what is stopping that change from happening? What thought, belief, or wound is the driving force in your life that is stopping you from being able to make the changes you want? And once you find out what that is, then you have the power to create a tangible shift, because then you can choose differently. And if you continue to use the breath work, you'll clear that emotional charge from the body, and it'll be a lot easier to show up differently in different areas of your life. So I want you to do this assignment, and feel free to comment below with what you discovered, what happened. If you have questions, comment below. I will come in and answer them, and we'll get the conversation going, and I will illuminate things for you if you're stuck or you feel like you're not getting to it. And we will help you really be able to utilize this breathwork practice to get the tangible result that you're looking for. If you have questions, you can comment below or email me. I'd be happy to help you further with this practice. And like I said, I'll be sharing some more videos around the breathwork. And also I have some new breathwork offerings coming up, which I'll share below, which are super exciting. But the breathwork has the power to help you create a really tangible result if you know how to use it. And this is the first step. So thanks for watching, and I hope this was helpful for you.